Hello, everybody. Welcome to Trek on Tuesday. What a big week it is, Gina. It's Super Bowl week and it is Scouting's birthday this week. And we have a big show for you guys today, touching on both of those a little bit. Gina, what are we looking at? Where are you?
I'm in my backyard, if you can believe it. And yeah, we've jam-packed two big parties into today. We couldn't pick because it's the week of the BSA birthday and it's the week of the Super Bowl. So we wanted to just make it a double party. We're going to kick off today with a little bit of a Super Bowl
Oh,
predictor.
I get
You can see
it.
that
Kick off,
experiment in
Gina.
the
I get
works.
it.
You get it?
Kick off. We're kicking off today with
Oh,
it's a
yeah, I meant
term.
that for sure. What I was going to say is just because we are going to be doing a Super Bowl prediction doesn't mean we didn't bring in a little bit of a birthday flair to this one. We've actually went out and purchased from Wolfgang Bakery two little birthday bones, okay? You've got your blue and your pink. Just totally randomly flipped a
Yeah.
coin.
What
Blue
could
is
that symbolize?
49ers, okay? Because both teams are red. So today, blue is 49ers, pink is Chiefs. Got it?
Yes.
Happy birthday,
Understood.
BSA. We're going to use it as an opportunity to predict the Super Bowl winner. Are you
So
following?
how is that going to work, Gina? We've got two treats. If only we had an animal or something that could, try to go after some of these treats.
Well, Wolfgang Bakery's biggest fan is Wolfgang, my dog. So he has graciously volunteered. He is just behind this doggy door in the Super Bowl cam we've got going on. Yeah, you can see the little doggy door. And then you can see two, it's a little hard to see in the sun, but one of them is labeled 49ers on the left and one is labeled Chiefs on the right. Hopefully you can kind of see that. I'm going to go in, put Wolfgang on his bed. You might see that a little bit. Stick him on his bed out here, ask him to stay. We are live. Anything could happen. Just keep your eyes on what happens. Whatever treat he eats, not sniffs, eats first wins. Okay?
Perfect. Yes, this is. I think, as you know, we guaranteeing a winner here that whichever one Wolfgang goes to first, that's the team that's going to win the Super Bowl.
Well, what do you mean guarantee?
I mean, how confident are we in Wolfgang the dog, not the bakery, and Wolfgang the dog's ability to predict the winner of the Super Bowl?
I don't know. I guess we're going to have to see what he picks and then see if we agree.
We're going to find out. In case you guys can't see the screen, on the right side of your screen is the Chiefs treat. On the left side of the screen is the 49ers treat. As Gina said, in just a few seconds, she's going to unleash fury,
Beast.
aka Wolfgang, on these treats. He's probably going to eat them both eventually, but the key is, which one will he go to first?
Yes. So actually, what I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do is get up and see if I can move that camera just a tiny bit closer. Again, we're live. Anything could happen.
Yep.
If there's some wobbliness, just stick with us. I'll adjust. The next thing I'm going to go do is take this leash, walk Wolfgang out to his staging area and ask him to stay. And when I release him, the first treat he eats is our prediction for Super Bowl winner. You have any predictions before we?
This is going to be amazing and excited. I'm not going to predict the winner of the game, but I predict that Wolfgang is going to go towards the 49ers side. He's going to pick the 49ers.
You think he's right-handed or something?
Yeah, I just feel like he's going to lean that direction. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's just a gut feeling. I think this is a 50-50 matchup, just like the game itself. It could go either way. So that's my prediction, is that Wolfgang's going to choose the 49ers.
Okay, so my goal is to be able to get back in my seat before the selection is made. But anything could happen, Aaron.
We are live. Gina, whenever you're ready, I say go for it. Just a reminder to everybody, we are live. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know which team he's going to pick. He might get distracted and wander off. We don't know.
That's right. And if you forget which team's on which side, behind the scenes, Brian has labeled at the bottom, left is 49ers, right is the Chiefs.
Yes, good.
I'll also say, so you'll see me walking back here. After I put Wolfgang in his place, we call it place, I'm not going to say anything because he's not really supposed to move until I say go or okay. But he's going to be very excited. He doesn't often get to choose between two birthday treats. Again, they're birthday treats because it's the BSA's birthday this week.
That's right. Let's not forget the second half of the exciting part of the week, and that is it's the BSA's birthday. 114 years young. Time flies, Gina, when you're having fun. Yeah, as Gina said, at the bottom of the screen, you'll see the KC logo is on the right side. The San Francisco logo is on the left side. That's because the Kansas City Chiefs treats are on the right side, as you see it, the viewer. The 49ers treats are on the left side. Not only is this a test to see which side Wolfgang is going to choose, we're also going to see how well trained he is, Gene. Let's see what he does here.
Yeah, I hope he can live up to what he's learned. He's been training for years now, and it's all been leading to this. When we got him as a puppy, that's exactly what we were hoping we would be able to achieve one day.
This was the ultimate goal. No pressure, Wolfgang. Just do your best, as we say in Cub Scouts.
Okay, I'm going to walk away. Aaron, wish me luck.
Okay, I've got it. Good luck, Gina. Good luck, especially to Wolfgang. All you folks viewing at home, if you haven't placed your bet yet on the Super Bowl, I'm not encouraging gambling or wagering of any kind. I'm just saying you can probably trust Wolfgang. You guys can see Gina going into her home there, and she's going to bring out her live animal, Wolfgang, and we're going to see what he chooses. This is the latest in a long line. The Boys Life, we've been in Scout Life, we've been trying to predict the Super Bowl winner in weird, creative ways for many, many years. If you want to treat, go back and look at some of our other shows where we've tried. I don't know how accurate we are. We're gonna have to go dig up those stats to see how accurate we are. Thanks for moving that camera, Gina. We've got a clear view now. 49ers on the left, Chiefs on the right. I'm not sure if Wolfgang is in position just yet. I don't see him. Let's keep our eyes open. There's Gina going to get him right now. Okay, here we go, folks. The moment is about to arrive. Let's see which treat Wolfgang chooses. If you have any predictions of your own to make for the game, feel free to leave them in the comments. Shout out to Rusty, who's watching from Pack 84 in New Philadelphia, Ohio. And Cub Scout Pack, also Cub Scout Pack 92. Good to see you, Rusty, and our good friend Wendy from Elgin, Illinois, Troop 38 and Pack 38. In the past, we have chosen such wacky ways to predict the Super Bowl as having like helium balloons. Oh, here he comes. Look how excited he is. Here comes Wolfgang. He doesn't know which way to go. I don't think he sees the treats yet. He's in position. Gina is about to take him off the leash. And let's see, boy, I am on the edge of my seat. He seems to have found something important to sniff in the grass right next to him. He's going. He's on the move. Oh, no. Gina, oh, wow. He is a well-trained pup. Gina, that's impressive.
Down.
I can't believe that. My
Wolfgang
dog would never do that. Hey, Stephanie, thanks for watching from Pack 19 and Texarkana. Stephanie, in case you just joined us, we're about to predict the winner of the Super Bowl. So inside tip here. Look what a good dog you have, Gina. It looks like he's in position. Okay, here's the countdown. The countdown's coming. 3, 2, 1, and we're about to let.
Okay.
Wolfgang has, as predicted. Wolfgang has predicted that the San Francisco 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl. What a good boy. Wow, what a good dog. That's really, really impressive. We will see in about 5 more days if Wolfgang was correct or not. But guys, you've got the inside scoop here. Given the choice between treats that represent the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs, Wolfgang, thank you, Marcy. Yes, thank you. Wolfgang has chosen the 49ers as I predicted. Now, let's let the record show. I didn't say the 49ers were going to win the game. I said that I predicted that Wolfgang would pick the 49ers to win the game. How reliable is Wolfgang? That. Yeah, how? Now, I know you're a big football fan, Gina. Is Wolfgang a big football fan?
Oh, he loves it. Every time I watch it, he watches it. So
excellent. I
think that answers your question.
It does. What a good boy. And of course, you're going to give him the Kansas City Chiefs treat also, right? He's going to get
if he goes for it, I'll move the camera in just a second. You know, what's funny is he has shown absolutely no interest in the Chiefs treat so far.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean,
It seems
yeah,
like he's predicting a blowout.
yeah, his decision he didn't hesitate one bit. He went straight for that 49ers
I'll
pile.
go show you what's happening now.
Okay, yeah, let us know. Stephanie says, good job, Wolfgang. I agree, Stephanie. What a good boy. I'm impressed. My dog's sound asleep right here over the corner. He would never. Okay, it looks like Wolfgang has finally decided that he could, in fact, be bothered to eat the Kansas City Chiefs treat. Yeah, I'd say that he's predicting maybe not a close game. That's quite the prediction. I think most folks have a hard time betting against Patrick Mahomes these days, but not Wolfgang. He's not afraid, Gina.
Well, I think that I've just heard a lot of buzz about the Chiefs. I know that like there's some celebrity pull there, and I think a lot of like youthful viewers are excited about the Chiefs like we haven't really seen before. So it is interesting because in some ways you think of the 49ers as maybe like the general public's underdog. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
Yeah,
I've also heard, the 49ers have a really good shot of winning.
Absolutely, yes. I think it should be a great game, and I just have a tremendous amount of respect for Wolfgang. Complete lack of hesitation. He just went for it, Gina. He's not afraid to make a prediction. Some people I think are afraid to come out and predict this team or that team because they don't want to turn out to be wrong. Not Wolfgang. Look at that cute boy. Look at that cute boy dog.
Well, one funny thing is now he's outside while we do the remainder of today's Trek on Tuesday, and he will bark furiously at any noise he hears. So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes as well.
That will be interesting to say. Maybe Wolfgang would like to join us during the next segment of today's show. We've already predicted the Super Bowl winner, guys. In case you missed it, Wolfgang has guaranteed a San Francisco 49ers victory, although he now is enjoying the Kansas City Chiefs treat. Wolfgang got two special, really, really cute birthday-themed treats, little dog bone treats. Why birthday-themed treats, you might be wondering? It's Scouting's birthday is this week on Thursday, February 8th. Yeah,
Wolfgang just devoured both of those.
Yes. Happy birthday to whom, you might be asking? To the BSA is the answer to that question. 114 years old. I've got a handful of photos of some famous scouts to kind of celebrate 114 years of Boy Scouts of America. If you're okay with it, I thought maybe we'd go through them. I know who they are, but maybe we could see if you can recognize them. And you know what? You can always ask the audience for help.
I would love you all's help because I think some of these I'm going to know, especially when it comes to actors and pop culture kind of people.
Yep.
But I'm going to be lost when it comes to sports people and politicians. So I'm really excited.
Some of them might be easy. Some of them might not be easy. Brian, just go ahead behind the scenes. Brian, throw those photos up there whenever you're ready. Quick shout out to Karen, who's watching from PAC 3303 in Wellington, Kansas. This is one of the probably more famous Scouts alums that in the BSA, we are super proud of this person. This person, I'll say, is an Eagle Scout. Obviously, you can probably tell by what he's wearing and by what's behind him what he did for a career. Gina,
do you want me to guess, or do you want me to wait and see if the audience can?
Well, I guess let's give the audience a few seconds to think about it. This is, like I said, whenever you think about proud representatives of the Boy Scouts in America, not every single person we're going to show you today is an Eagle Scout. Some of them are just, Scouts who participate in the program as Cub Scouts or as what we used to call Boy Scouts, or now Scouts BSA members. So it's not just Eagle Scouts today, but we've got Rob and the Talocta district from Alabama and Karen are all in agreement.
Well, let me say one thing about him before you reveal it. Yes. I only know this because of Trek on Tuesday. I only know it because of Trek on Tuesday. Yes, he is an Eagle Scout. Yes, he stepped on the moon, but he's not the only Eagle Scout who stepped on the moon.
Yes, that is exactly right. Gina, who's the other one?
What is his name?
I've actually got it right here. If you just could kill time for 2 seconds.
Yes, I know what my guess is for gentlemen. This is Neil Armstrong. He's the first Eagle Scout to step on the moon, I think.
Yes, he is. Buzz Aldrin, who also stepped on the moon, not an Eagle Scout. The second Eagle Scout to walk on the moon is Charles Duke.
Yes,
Eagle Scout
Charles
class
Duke.
of 1946. Yes.
We were so lucky to get to talk to Charles Duke, too.
Yes, it's exactly right. Yes. 3 scouts have been on the moon, 2 of them Eagle Scouts. That's pretty crazy. Brian, maybe let's go. This next one is a completely different field, Gina. This person has actually been, for basketball fans, this person has been in the news quite a bit lately because this team is doing really well. They're actually red hot. And we've actually talked about this person on Trek also before, Gina. I'm not sure if you remember that or not. Anybody watching at home, this here also
Can't wait to
an
see that.
Eagle Scout. Also an Eagle Scout. Yes, yes.
He looks super
No,
cool. Honestly, wish I knew his name. Obviously, we've talked about him. I've read the blog about him. I do not remember his name. My guess right now is like Hoops Jordan.
Hoops Jordan is is a great guess. That's not the correct guess.
Okay.
Uh, this young man earned the rank of Eagle in 2013. Gina?
Swish Barkley.
Swish Barkley is again an incorrect guess. Rob, though, thank you, Rob, for coming through and putting us out of our misery. This is Josh Hart, who has played for a couple of different teams. He last summer, Gina played for the Team USA in some international competition, and he continues to get rave reviews everywhere he plays with his teammates because he's such a good guy, such a good teammate, such a good leader. Currently helping the New York Knicks. They're on a hot streak right now, Gina, if you follow the NBA, and they've been playing really, really well lately. So Josh Hart is our scout number 2. This third one.
Wait.
Yes. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, he does look different because we've been following him for a little while and he didn't always have the facial hair. But I will say, we've been lucky enough to email with him before, and he's so nice to us even. He's not too big to talk to us and scouts still. So I appreciate Josh Hart.
Our good friend Brian Wendell did a story on him when he was in college at Villanova. He was an Eagle Scout, of course.
He looked younger.
Winning a national championship, as we all did back then. Yes. But yes, our next one, Gina, another athlete. This one is, I'm going to throw you a curveball with this one, Gina. This is not an Eagle Scout, but this is a famous athlete who I didn't even remember that this person was a scout as a youth, not an Eagle Scout, but this person was a scout on a youth and as a youth. And is, I'm sure
Nolan Ryan was my guess.
Sure he's honored to make our list. This is indeed Nolan Ryan. This is indeed Craig. I'm sure she didn't see your comment before she guessed that. This is former Major League Baseball pitcher Nolan Ryan, current Houston Astros executive, started his career with the Mets, as I'm sure you know, Gina. Eventually played for the Houston Astros and the Texas Rangers, and also the Angels, I think, right?
I know him as a Texas Ranger. I know him as the famous fight that happened.
Yes, the fight with Robin Ventura. Everybody remembers that. Yep.
He's a all beef Frank entrepreneur.
Yes, that is correct. Exactly. Our fourth famous scout. This is a pretty easy one. I think everybody is going to recognize that young man. Again, our good friend Brian did a great research job a few years ago on a blog post about this person finding his actual registration, which was really, really cool. He was indeed a scout. This is obviously, we know Martin Luther King Jr. Thank you, Rob. Yes, very, very, very cool. By the way, shout out to Todd from Troop 601 in Farmingdale who's watching. Todd, we're going through some famous scouts. In case you missed it, Todd, Wolfgang predicted the 49ers to win the Super Bowl. That's Gina's dog. Martin Luther King Jr. indeed was a scout as a child. Next up, this is kind of an unusual one, kind of a weird, quirky guy. Gina, does he look familiar to you? Do you know who that is?
Yes, and I'm questioning his first name, but Lynch.
Lynch is definitely his last name. This is famous Hollywood movie director David Lynch. Yes. Very, very kind of a unique filmmaker, but he is an Eagle Scout. And I believe Brian also interviewed David Lynch one time, or at least exchanged emails with him. So,
pretty cool.
Yes. Very, very cool. David Lynch, one of his good friends, by the way, is the next person that you're about to see. You might be able to guess who this is going to be, Gina, as we get to our next famous scout. Another famous, I had to put 2 movie directors in here.
Well, one thing I want to say about these creative people who you see as Eagle Scouts, I think sometimes creatives, combined with the structure of scouting leads to the perfect combination you need to really make it in that industry, because you can be creative and kind of not meet deadlines and things, and scouting holds you accountable to that. So 2 of the biggest directors that we've ever seen being Eagle Scouts, I don't think that's a coincidence.
Absolutely. And Talatco District account has guessed this one correctly, as has Karen. Steven Spielberg, of course. Gina, you might already know that Steven Spielberg helped the BSA develop the movie-making merit badge.
Yeah, it used to be cinematography.
Exactly. He helped us do that. Yes, and Rob points out Sammy Fableman. What's interesting there is that in the movie The Fablemans, Guess who Steven Spielberg gave a cameo to? His buddy David Lynch, who had a cameo in that movie. Two fellow Eagle Scouts, both behind the camera and in front of the camera of that movie, The Fabelmans. By the way, if you haven't seen it,
wildly different directors. Kind of funny.
Wildly different styles. Yes, exactly. I have no idea. You think they ever talk about their time in Scouts together? You think they know that the other person's
probably,
an Eagle Scout?
I bet they do. I feel like that comes up in its formative years. Obviously, it influenced Spielberg enough to be all over his movie.
Yes, and that can't be a coincidence, right? That in the movie that he made about his time in Scouts, he chooses a fellow Eagle Scout to be in the movie, right? That can't be a coincidence, right? We're winding down our list of, only have 10 famous Scouts we're going to show you guys. Gina, there's only one United States president that has ever been an Eagle Scout. I think we've talked about this on Trek on Tuesday as well. Lots of presidents have backgrounds in scouting, right? As either youth or even some, like Jimmy Carter, as like adult leaders. He was like an adult leader in scouting. Karen is all over the place today. Stephanie, very good. Telotco District, very good. This is Gerald Ford.
Gerald Ford even... Yeah, he came to a jamboree and made a really famous speech that we sometimes still get to read on things like Trek on Tuesday.
Yes, absolutely. I'm trying to look up Gerald Ford's class of Eagle Scout. I've got it right here, Gina. 1927 is when Gerald Ford earned the rank of Eagle Scout. Good job, Rob, Karen, and Rob and Karen both got that one. Good job. And the Telotco District. Next person, Gina, once again, a famous scout. I feel like this next person, a lot of people, I feel like it's almost like an urban legend that this person is an Eagle Scout. He's actually not.
Yeah, it seems like we would know that.
What's interesting, though, is that his dad was an Eagle Scout. Interestingly, this person right here, Rusty gets it right. Good job, Telotco District. This is Bill Gates. Bill Gates, the co-founder of Microsoft, was a scout as a child.
Mr. Microsoft, as his name was known around these parts.
Exactly. His dad, William Gates Sr., was a philanthropist and Eagle Scout, class of 1941. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that makes sense. But younger. His dad is younger than Gerald Ford.
Yes, I know. That does seem exactly interesting, doesn't it? Yeah, his dad's not that old at all. A couple of more Scouts. Gina, my favorite sport is baseball, so I had to loop back around to another famous baseball player. Look how cool this young man, as he was at the time. He was a scout and a spokesman for the scouting movement, appearing in commercials and things like that. Very, very cool. Record-setting baseball Hall of Famer.
I love his quotes about scouting, and he even kind of acted as a face of scouting for a little bit. Craig knows.
Knew we could count on Craig. Hammer and Hank, the all-time home run leader in Major League Baseball. Well, I guess maybe there was some controversy about someone maybe breaking his record, right? Am I getting that right? With Barry Bonds. Maybe that was just single season. Somebody fact check me on that. I bet Rob knows. Anyway, Hammer and Hank, Hall of Famer, and one of the all-time really great spokesmen for the Boy Scouts of America. Definitely a famous scout for sure. Okay, this last one, Gina, this is a tricky one. Okay, I found this person. I was actually lucky enough to meet this person. It's another astronaut. There's a long connection between scouting and astronauts. I picked this one on purpose to be our last one because it's the trickiest one. I would be curious to know if anybody can guess who this is. I'm going to look up his bio here real quick. This person here.
Familiar picture because I've seen the blog.
Yep. This person achieved something really remarkable in his life. He's an Eagle Scout. And we'll give the folks watching at home a few minutes to see if they can guess who that is. This is an unusual one. This person was in the Boy Scouts of America office many, many years ago. I was nice enough to say hi to a few folks. Gina, I think that was way before your time, but very, very super nice gentleman. All right. Was that a little bit of a typo there? I think autocorrect got to Telotco District. His first name is Guion, Guion. His last name is Bluford. He's the first African-American in space. Do you know how cool is that? The first ever African-American in space is an Eagle Scout. He is our very, very good. He is our, I'm not sure if Rob knew that or if he just cheated to look that one up, but he is a famous, I mean, how cool is that? The first African-American in space is an Eagle Scout. That connection between scouting and astronauts. There's a deep connection there, right? There's tons and tons of astronauts who have some sort of
Yes.
scouting connection. Yep.
The vast majority is my understanding.
Gina, we've learned two things today that are very important. Number one, the BSA is 114 years old. The official birthday is Thursday. We're celebrating a little earlier, guys, because it's Tuesday, Trek on Tuesday. But feel free to celebrate as you wish on Thursday.
Let me ask you something, Aaron, before we move on from that.
Yes.
I know we have another topic that we covered today, but so every year on the BSA's birthday, we add another famous scout to our running list. So we'll have to have 114 this year, which means you're going to be adding somebody to that running list. Is that a surprise, or are you going to reveal that for our audience?
That's a great question. I hadn't thought about that, Gina. But yes, again, our friend Brian started this many years ago, and now we've inherited it to where every time the BSA gets a year older, we add one more famous scout. I think this story started with 108 famous scouts, and now we're up to 114.
Wow, 6 whole years.
I know it's been
Not
a
even
long running tradition out of the 114 years. Oh yeah, Huntsville, Alabama. I've been there before. I didn't even think about that. Rocket City, absolutely. Good comment there by the Talacto district. I don't know. Should I reveal it? It's interesting because that post will basically just add a name every time. So you guys can go in there and see what name looks. There's no way you could figure out if you didn't know who it was, right? It's 114 names on there.
Well, yeah, true. Unless you track it and you have like an archive of it. I kind of think you should give our Trek on Tuesdays the exclusive because it incentivizes watching the show.
Well, I should have done, and I should have given behind the scenes Brian a photo of this one, but I didn't.
It's just a little tease.
The person that we added to the list this year is a very, very famous actor who made headlines literally last year when he appeared in a Cub Scout uniform. He actually appeared on the streets of Los Angeles, Hollywood. What's up, Wolfgang? In a Cub Scout uniform. And there were different headlines really across the world. It's not an exaggeration. The tabloids were saying, why is this person dressed up as a scout? It must be a Halloween costume. And of course, it wasn't a Halloween costume. This person, not only did they grow up in scouting, they are currently a registered scout leader in their hometown.
Jeremy knows.
And Jeremy has got it correct. Ashton Kutcher is our famous addition to the 114 scouts. He's done a couple of really nice interviews. He was promoting his movie last year and was asked about those photos and gave some really nice statements about his time in scouting and how much it meant to him. Definitely encourage everybody to go look that up. That will be appearing on the blog on Thursday, Gina, which, if we haven't mentioned it, is the official 114th birthday of scouting. In case you guys missed it, Wolfgang has placed his pick for the Super Bowl winner. Gina, it was the San Francisco 49ers, kind of going a little bit out of on a limb, picking the underdog there. We'll see.
He loves an underdog. And I didn't get to point out, Aaron, that I'm wearing my only Super Bowl gear. And it's, I think, probably the last year the Cowboys. No, it's not. But it's back in the Cowboys days. And it's
been a long time.
I'll challenge the audience. It's 1993. It's the Cowboys versus, do you know?
I do, yeah. But should I say it or should I wait for the audience to chime in?
I don't know. I don't know how good you people are.
Way up in the Northeast that where it gets super chilly in the winter.
They were in the playoffs.
They had a good team. They've had a good team the last few years. They haven't quite made it back to the Super Bowl. In the 90s, though, they lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. Jeremy knows. Correct. Yes, our sports fans come through. Cowboys versus Bills. You could have worn that in 92 or 93, I think, Gina.
Oh, really?
It was the same matchup, yes. 95.
I always say, like, last time the Cowboys won, I was in kindergarten. And I remember because we used to get to have a Super Bowl party day at school. So I was set up for an expectation that was never met again in the rest of my schooling because that was the last year they won. I think that was 90.
They won one more in 95. They beat Pittsburgh in 1995.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
For those of you who are wondering, though, I was actually out of college at that point watching in my apartment. So that just gives you an idea of Gina's generation and my generation. But yeah, so Super Bowl Sunday, everybody, you've got your pick. Wolfgang has made. He's still checking out that treat. I think he's still finishing it up.
He is sniffing over there. He attempted to try to go back inside, but he's locked out at the moment. He didn't bark, so we want to give him a big congrats on that.
I haven't heard a peep from him. He did great.
Yeah, I am impressed with him. He's been really a a team player. He's all about sportsmanship and sports, and yeah.
Now, I want to shout out, first of all, Jared. I'm sorry, but I do have to call this out. Jared has just brought up one of my most traumatic memories of my childhood, Jared, as a kid who grew up in Dallas in the 80s. 49ers versus Cowboys, the catch that wasn't the Super Bowl, that was the NFC Championship game. That was one of the most traumatic. Gina, I'm sure you're not familiar with that. I can't even get into the details because it's still too
I'm not
simple.
familiar with that, but it does give me a chance to clarify because you kind of football splained to me when I was referring to my kindergarten party. It wasn't in 1993, Aaron. Don't
It was
age me.
1995?
Yes, that's correct.
Jared, stop bringing up these traumatic names from my childhood, please. Jared, I do not do Trek on Tuesdays in order for people to traumatize me with memories from my childhood. One of the most famous catches in the history of the NFL was Dwight Clark in the back of the end zone from Joe Montana. Jared, I'm not lying to you. When that happened, you can ask my mom. I went into my room and I cried. Yes, that's what happened to me. I was probably, I don't know, Gina, maybe, I was young back then. So yeah.
One thing that I find, I have one comment, one question.
Trek on Tuesday. Thank you.
Who knew it was going to go this way? But
exactly. Didn't know we were going to get so dark.
This Super Bowl was played January 31st. Early.
Yeah, interesting. There were fewer games in the regular season back then, for sure, by at least one, maybe even. I'm not that familiar with when the season got longer, but the season 17 games now. Maybe, I guess it was probably 16 back then. And I also, they didn't always have the day off between the championship game and the Super Bowl. So yeah, now there's a week off.
Maybe that's the difference. The other thing I was going to say is, I don't know why I feel the need to clarify this, but I do. That Super Bowl party was actually not a Super Bowl win party because I was thinking it was 96 because I'm just calculating the years. That was the last time I think they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think that's why we had the party.
Okay.
No champion party. Not in all of my schooling career.
Right. Yep, that could be correct. Yes. Yeah. This has been a great show. In spite of the fact that Jared came on here to remind me of all my childhood trauma, I'm going to have to go do some meditating. It's been a long time, Gina.
What year was that?
It still hurts. Jeremy, what year was the catch? Let's think about this. That was Joe Montana. Danny White was the Cowboys quarterback. So that would have been like 85 or 6, maybe something along those lines. Jared's going to fill me in. Maybe 84. Let's see, maybe even 82. Jared, maybe let's look that up. It's the 80. Well, we got a couple of different. One says 81, one says 85. Honestly, either one of those could be right. I don't really know for sure. I'm going to say that maybe 85 seems right. It was right around the mid 80s, I think, Gina.
I love Stephanie's comment who says, I think she's saying Wolfgang needs a wolf handkerchief for scouts. I totally agree. I kind of like when behind the scenes, Brian put Wolfgang up on screen when you were describing Ashton Kutcher, and it seemed like maybe he was the scout.
He was the famous scout.
Yes.
Well, maybe one of these days, Wolfgang, hey, Wolfgang, maybe one of these days, Wolfgang can make our list of 114 famous scouts. Yeah, I'm thinking 85 sounds about right for that year, but I'm tired of talking about it. Okay, I don't want to talk about that anymore.
Shooting through the roof with this
football talk. Yes.
So this has been a really fun little mashup.
We hope that you all enjoyed both of the two momentous events this week. BSA's birthday on Thursday, Super Bowl Sunday on Sunday. However you choose to celebrate those two events, do it safely, do it responsibility, no wagering. Bet on the 49ers, though, because Wolfgang said they were going to win. Gina,
you could bet candy.
Gina did a lot of excellent work today on the show, way more than I did. Gina, good job today. Appreciate you organizing your backyard, getting Wolfgang ready, going to the Wolfgang Bakery to get those treats. You did a lot of work.
Oh, it was very fun. I'm looking forward to whatever we come up with for next year. Happy birthday to the BSA. We won't be live again until Friday this week, I believe. For Cub Chat Live. And until then, I guess we'll get to talk about the Super Bowl some more at Cub Chat Live. I'm sure that'll come up.
Yep. We'll probably talk about the Super Bowl, recap the BSA birthday celebration. We'll have some other fun things to talk about. Thank you all for watching. Thanks to everyone except for Jared for bringing up my traumatic childhood memories. Appreciate that, everybody. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye, everybody.